Carolyn, thanks very much for agreeing to talk with me. I really appreciate it. I will confess I don't know a whole lot about your project, so I'm looking forward to learning about it and learning what I can communicate with our readers about it. So let me just start with a general question. What can you tell me about it?
Yes. So first of all, thank you for taking time with me this morning. My name is Carolyn Rodriquez. I'm an assistant professor at Stanford and director of the Translational Therapeutics program. And the focus of our research is identifying and developing rapid-acting treatments for obsessive-compulsive disorder. And the prevalence of obsessive-compulsive disorder is around 2% of the population. One of the biggest misconceptions about OCD that you see in popular TV is that it's just a personality quirk, when in fact 1 in 7 individuals with OCD will attempt suicide in their lifetime. It's quite devastating for individuals and their families. And the research project that I'll be talking about today involves a new treatment for obsessive-compulsive disorder. So I'm happy to tell you a little bit more about OCD if you'd like.
Well, let's dive into it. Tell me, why did you want to take on a project to look at obsessive-compulsive disorder?
Mental disorders, including obsessive-compulsive disorder, are increasingly thought of as brain circuits gone awry. And in OCD, these circuits can be hyperactive and they can get stuck in a loop. So individuals that have these intrusive thoughts, their minds go over and over again. And this hyperactivity is thought that may be due to abnormalities in neurochemicals and chemical messengers where the nerve cells talk to each other. And glutamate is one of these chemical messengers that helps the nerve cells talk to each other. And in OCD, the levels of this neurochemical called glutamate may be abnormal.
Okay. So when you started down the path with this project, what were you hoping to accomplish?
Mm-hmm. We were hoping to identify a medication that acted rapidly on symptoms and didn't have side effects of previous medication.
So Carolyn, tell me a little bit about how you got started. Who was behind it? Who's funding it? What did you do first? Tell me about that.
Right. So I'm very grateful. The project is funded in part by the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation and in part by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. I'm actually a Harold Amos Medical Faculty Development Scholar. And the first step in terms of this project was to recruit and enlist the help of our partners, individuals that have obsessive-compulsive disorder.
So how did it go? What's gone well? What did you learn that didn't go so well?
Yeah. So one of the things that went well was that we were able to show that it had rapid effects and it was very well tolerated. Patients didn't have any nausea, no blood pressure changes, unlike previous medications that act on the glutamate system. And one of the challenges was that a pharmaceutical company got interested in the results and then bought the compound, and then we needed to stop our study. But we were able to publish the results, which is exciting, and now the company has this drug in development for phase 3 studies and is the first-in-class indication for major depression.
So you mentioned a pharmaceutical company that came in and sort of took over. It sounds like they kind of pulled the rug out from underneath you. Is that what happened?
Well, one of the exciting things as a clinical researcher is you want to be able to attract the attention of NIH or pharmaceutical industry funding in order to be able to do the large-scale studies and get the resources behind that in order to be able to get FDA approval and get medications into the hands of consumers. And so, patients really need medication. I see day in and day out people emailing me, what's next, what's on the horizon. And to me, it was incredibly exciting.
So what's the most important thing you learned through the project?
So for me, one of the things that was most frustrating as a clinician is the long time in which our drugs act, 2 to 3 months, and being able to show that there is a medication that works rapidly, that doesn't have side effects, and could potentially be a therapeutic, to me is the most exciting part of the project.
And why should people care about that?
Well, certainly it would help those individuals who suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder and their families. But I think in the larger scheme of things, traditionally people have thought of mental illness as something either that's not treatable or treatable in a slow time course. And the fact that this is a drug that works in the rapid time scale, in the matter of hours, really challenges our conventional thinking about treating individuals with mental illness.
If people could remember only one thing about your work, what would you want that to be?
I would like them to take away that there is hope. Even though you may individually experience suffering, if you're suffering from OCD yourself, or have a family of a loved one, there are a group of committed researchers and professionals that are dedicated to trying to find a cure for OCD.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you think is important for me to be able to communicate to our readers?
I would just want to say that one of the things that doesn't really get much attention is the fact that patients with OCD need to volunteer to participate in the studies, and the science isn't possible without them. And because we want to protect the privacy of our individuals, I can never publicly acknowledge their contributions to this work. And so I just want to reach out and say thank you for those individuals and the many people who volunteer for these studies, but are unrecognized because of the privacy.
Great. Thanks very much. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.